So let us now move on to study another class of games called cost games. So rather than giving a formal definition, let us illustrate the main issues through the means of an example. So imagine that you have a TV station which wants to connect customers into a network. And in order to connect customers into a network, it has to build lines connecting them from the station. Okay. So we are going to discuss this network connections in the context of the mathematical object, which is a graph, and it's going to be called a tree. And this is one representative example that we are going to use to highlight the main issues, right? So here you'll see that you have got certain vertices, right? And you have got basically some sort of arcs that are connecting these vertices, right? So some of these vertices are going to appear to be the players involved, right? So you have got station, you have got um, connecting 1, connecting 2, and connecting 3. These are the 3 vertices. And a vertex with no players is going to be a junction. So this is what you have here, right? And how should we view this number? So these are basically the cost of building each of the arc in the network. So for example, you can see that there is a connection between station and junction, and it has the number 6 beside it. So what it means is that in order to build a connection from the station to the junction, it costs 6. Okay. Then in order to build a connection from the junction to 1, the node 1, it costs 18. In order to build a junction from a connection from junction to node 2, it costs 12. And in order to build a connection from 1 to 3, it costs further 24 units, right? So this is how we should interpret the table. And now basically what we want to think of is how should this total cost be divided between the different agents who are being connected to the station. Okay, so the way in which we are going to do it is we are going to think of it as a cooperative game, whereas instead of the usual N and V, we have N and C, right? So N is as usual the set of players, and C is again the coalition function that is going to assign to each coalition S a real number CS, which is going to be the total cost that the coalition S has to pay if the members decide to form it, right? So in the context of this above example, what we have is that the total cost that the coalition S will incur only if its members are connected to the station is given by this CS. Okay. So let's take a bit of a look at in this thing. So what do we have? We have got 3 players, right? N equal to 1 to 3. So these are the 3 players with whom the station is being thought of as connecting, right? This 1, 2, and 3. And then we need to discuss coalitions, right? So and the associated coalition functions. So for example, if you have got only one being connected to the station, then the cost is going to be given by basically 6 plus 18, right? So the cost of the wire from the station to the junction is 6, and then you have to further build this connection between junction and 1. And so therefore the total cost is given by 24. What about C2? So C2 is 18. How do we see that here? So you have to first build a connection between the station and the junction. And then there's going to be a connection between the junction and this node 2. And that is total cost is 6 plus 12 equal to 18. Similarly, what will be the cost if only 3 is connected to the station? So then that will be given by 6, which is the cost for connection between the station and the junction, plus 18, which is the cost between junction and node 1, plus 24, which is the connection between node 1 and node 3. Note that you have to actually pass through node 1 in order to get to node 3. So you have to build these 3 different connections, right? So now if you add up, that's 6 plus 18 plus 24. So that's equal to 48. And this is the number that you see here. And as usual, if nobody builds kind of like a connection to the station, then the cost incurred is 0. Now, what happens if you have got actually 1 and 2 both building being connected to the station? So then the cost is going to be given by 6 plus 18 plus 12, right? Because you have to build this first connection between station and junction, and then you can build a connection from junction to node 1 and junction to node 2. So then if you add up, this is 36, right? So notice that this 36 is less than actually the cost of coalition 1 plus cost of coalition 2. And the reason is because if you build this connection between the station and the junction 6, this can actually help to actually connect to both 1 and 2, right? So this was a common cost that you don't have to spend for both the people, right? Just building this one connection is going to be enough to actually connect to both 1 and 2, right? So that's why you have like a reduction of this compared to before. Okay. What about C13? So again, if we kind of like go back, so here you have to just kind of like build a connection from the station to the junction, from junction to 1 and then 1 to 3. So then if you add up, so this is again going to be equal to 48, right? So this is how we get this number, 48. And what about C2 and 3? So here you have to kind of like build a connection from the station to the junction, then junction to node 2, as well as a junction to node 1 to node 3, right? Why do you have to also connect 1? Because you cannot go to 3 without passing through 1, right? So now if you add up, this is 6 plus 12, which is 18 plus 18, which is 36 plus 24 equal to 60. That's what you get, C23 equal to 60. And this is going to be the same as C123, right? Why? Because when you are building connections so as to join 2 and 3 to the station, you are automatically, because of the network structure, you are automatically being forced to also involve 1 as well, right? So then the cost of connecting both 1, 2, and 3 is also going to be 60, right? So this is how we kind of like translate, given a game given in this graph structure, we can translate it in the language of this cooperative game in C, where N is the number of players among whom the cost has to be kind of like divided. And this coalition function gives us what is the cost that each coalition, in order to be connected to the station, has to incur, right? Okay, so this is the description of the game. We now want to think about how to divide this costs, right? And the question is, as usual, if all three connect to the network, which is the whole coalition being formed, then how should this total cost be divided among them, right? And based on already what we have discussed about cooperative games, you know that one answer is going to be given by the Shapley value of this game. So let's look at how to compute the Shapley value. So again, this is the game structure, and you've got these three players. So we can think of first approaching it by the standard way, which is to think about, okay, let's think of each of the players entering in a particular order, and then let's think about what is the marginal cost they are actually having on the system, right? So because you have got these three players, 1, 2, and 3, you have got 3 factorial or 6 different ways in which the order could have been 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 2, 1, 3, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, and 3, 2, 1. Okay. And for each of these orders, we can actually think about what is the marginal cost that is being incurred in order to connect them. And then based on that, after we have got the total marginal contributions, then we can divide it by the number of cases, which here is 6, in order to get the Shapley value. Okay. So let's look at a particular example. Suppose we want to think of the order 1, 2, 3, right? So if I want to connect 1 first, then the total cost that has to be incurred is 6 to connect from the station to the junction, and then 18 to connect from the junction to 1. So that is the total cost of 24, which we note down here in the first entry, right? Now, suppose we want to connect 2 after this. So this connection between the station and junction is already built. So you just need to build a connection from the junction to node 2, which costs 12. And so we put in 12 here. And then finally, we have to extend this connection to 3. So then we just need to extend the connection that was already there till 1 to 3, which again costs 24, right? So we end up with 24, 12, 24 in this case. What about 1, 3, 2? So in this case, again, the first one is the same as before. So you have, it costs 24. And in order to extend it to 3, you have to actually incur a cost of this 24 again. And in order to extend it to 2, you need to incur a cost of 12. So you get the same outcome here. Okay. Similarly, we can look at the other cases. So 2, 1, 3, for example, the first, in order to kind of like extend it, you have to build the link to the junction, and then from junction to node 2, so that costs 18. But once you have built that, then the marginal cost of extending this connection to node 1 is just 18, right? Because this connection between the station and the junction is already there. And so therefore you will have this number 18, 18, and 24. What about 2, 3, 1? Well, in this case, first you have already kind of like build a connection to 2, which again is the same as before. So 18 is the cost because you have to build a connection from station to junction and junction to 2. And then after that, you want to kind of extend it to 3. So then you have to incur a cost, which is 18 plus 24. So 42 is the cost. But once you have already connected 2 and 3 to the station, then the connection to 1 is coming for free, right? So that's why it's actually 0, right? And you can kind of do the same analysis. So again, the cost of 312 is that first you have to connect 3. So that costs 6 plus 18 plus 24. So that's equal to 48. And then you want to connect it to 2. So that costs 12. But 1 again comes for free. So therefore the cost is 0 and so on, right? So these are the 6 possible cases, the 6 different orders. And now if you add up, so the total marginal cost to 1 is this 24 plus 18. So that's 48 plus 18, 66. Similarly, you can add up the ones to 2, so that's 84, and the ones to 3 adds up to 210, right? And then we need to divide it by 6 to get the Shapley value, so that ends up 66 divided by 6 is 11, 84 divided by 6 is 14, and 210 divided by 6 is 35, right? So that's how we calculate the Shapley value, and that's how, remember, this was the total cost, 60. So that's how we are going to divide this total cost, right? So 1 should pay 11, 2 should pay 14, and 3 should pay 35. Okay, so that's the standard way of calculating Shapley value. There's actually a second way of calculating these numbers here, which is often useful to us. So let's look at that. So what's the alternative procedure? The idea is to divide the cost of each arc equally among the players who uses the arc. Okay, so let's understand what that means in this context. So if you are connecting all 3 players to the station, so that means that all 3 have to kind of like use this arc which goes from station to junction. So this construction of this requires a cost of 6. So what we are going to do is we are going to divide this 6 among the 3 players equally. And so therefore, this particular part is going to end up with a cost of 2 to each of the 3 players. Okay. Let's look at the other connections. Now, suppose we are thinking of this second connection, which is this one between junction and 2. So that costs 12, and that is only of use to player 2, right? It does not actually is of use to connecting player 1 or 3 to the station, right? So the entire cost based on the principle that we discussed should be borne by 2 only, right? So we are going to note this down as saying for that particular arc, 1 should pay 0 cost, 3 should pay 0 cost, but 2 should pay a cost of 12 each. Okay, what about this arc, which is of 18 cost? So in that case, this is actually going to be used by both 1 and 3. And so therefore 1 and 3 should equally divide it among themselves, this cost of 18. And so therefore we will put in 909. And finally, the last portion is only of use to 3. So this entire 24 should be borne by 3, and we can actually then write down 0024. Now, if we add up all the numbers, so we get that if we add up across the different arcs, the cost to 1 should be 9 plus 2 equal to 11. The cost to 2 should be 12 plus 2 equal to 14. And the cost to 3 should be 24 plus 9 plus 2 or 35. And you will notice that this is the same number that we found here, right? So this is a second way in which we could have actually calculated what are the costs in this cost scheme to the different players, right? And gives the same answer as the one that we calculated using our approach towards Shapley value that we have seen before. Okay, what's the benefit of like having this alternative procedure? Well, it is of great importance, especially if you have thinking of calculating Shapley value for this sort of tree games with many players, right? So let's look at another example, which is similar in idea. So again, you have a TV station which wants to connect customers into a network, but now instead of 3, there are 9 customers, right? And this is how the picture looks like. So you've got the station which is connecting to 1. That has a cost of 27. You have got 1 connecting to 2, which has a cost of 18. Then the arc that connects 2 to 5 has a cost of 5, and the one that connects 2 to 4 has a cost of 3. Again, from 1, you could have also connected to 3, which would have had a cost of 30. 3 connects directly to 7 with the cost of 6. 3 and 6 are connected via arc, which costs 9, and then 6 is connected to 9 with a arc which costs 4, and 6 is also connected to 8 with a cost of 8. So this is the structure that we have. And if we now want to find out what is the total cost of connecting all the different 9 agents to the station, we would have had to look at the Shapley value, right? And this, if we calculate it using our traditional way of calculating Shapley value, is a very complex procedure, right? And the reason is because you have got here basically a lot of different cases, right? Because you have got this 9 different players. So you have to think about what are the different ways in which these 9 different players actually come in, right? So that seems more complicated, but this alternative procedure that we discussed, that actually is like much easier to implement here, right? So for example, let's think about the first arc that we have here. So this arc construction from station to 1, that is actually required to be used by anybody if you want to connect any of the players, right? So both connection from 1 to 5, let us say, will need to pass through this arc and so on, right? So for all the players. So that means that this cost 27 should be equally divided among the 9 players, right? And so that's how we can actually list it down. So for the first one, which is 27 cost, we see that each of them has to pay equal cost. So this is like 3 each. Okay. All right. What about the second one? So in order to kind of now go from this 1 to 2, for example, right, you have to build a cost of 18, and this is going to be of use to both 4, 5, and 2, right? So again, you equally divide this cost, and so therefore you end up in 2, 4, and 5, you end up writing 6 against each of them. Okay. Then we have got the arc which connects 2 and 4. So this is only of use to node 4. And so against 4, we should put in 3. And similarly, the arc that connects 2 and 5, that is only of use to node 5. So we should put 5 against 5, right? And so these are the two numbers that you see here. Okay, moving on to the right hand side from node 1. So the arc that connects node 1 and node 3 costs 30, but this is going to be of use to not only 3, but 6, 8, 9, and 7. So we should divide it among these 5 equally. So again, we will put in 6 against nodes 3, 6, 8, 9, and 7, which is what we have here. Once you have that, then the node between 3 and 7 costs 6, and that is of use to only node 7. So we need to put 6 against player 7. And this node between 3 and 6 is of use to 6, 8, and 9. So 9 should be divided between 3 players equally. So against 6, 8, and 9, we should list down 3 each, right? And similarly, 6 and 8 cost 8. So we should put that 8 against node 8. And between 6 and 9, we have something that costs 4. And so we should put in this 4 here. And this is how we get these different numbers. And then all we need to do is we need to add up. So for example, player 1 total cost should be 3. Player 2 should be paying 9. Player 3 should be paying 9 as well. And 4 should be paying 3 plus 6 plus 3. So that's 12 and so on, right? So this is, you can see that this is a much easier way of calculating this compared to a system where you were considering 9 players entering at different orders. So that would have been a much more computationally intensive solution. So this is where the second method is of actually much use to us compared to the usual way of calculating the Shapley value.